Welcome to Nolan Farms. We're located in southern Harrison County, a little hollow called Kinchalow. We have 40 acres here. We try to be diverse here. We raise pork, we raise meat chickens, we have egg-laying chickens and egg-laying ducks. We also provide small amount of produce, corn, beans, squash, cucumbers, etc. This design, I come up with it by looking at online and stuff. And a lot of people, we had a big windstorm, and the first one I got, we had a windstorm, and I seen somebody had it, and I thought, man, I could make something out of that. So the first one's actually over there. It's in pretty rough shape. We got to refurbish it again. We just built this one. The neighbor had it up the road, and we built this one. I used to put chicken wire on it, but chicken wire is to keep chickens in and not predators out. They'll chew through it. So we went to hardware cloth. We used to use the open design. I have a fenced-in yard here, but predators still get in, so I lost a few. So now we're going to put a hardware cloth top on it as well, if you want to make it predator-proof. But that's kind of the lessons I've learned of raising them. I showed her earlier. This is real easy. I just put 4x4s with wheels on them, and you just pick it up and just move it. It'll move throughout the yard. It gets a little difficult if you go up the hill. Like we got a bank here, it's a little difficult, but one person generally can move it. This shades them from you would think this black would make it heat, but it actually shades them. It's cooler under there. It's not in there. We have a bar that goes across. We hang their water and feed on for them to eat. We're going to talk about our meat chickens a little bit here. These red chickens here, this one, the bigger ones, they're called Freedom Rangers. A lot of your farmers raise Cornish rocks. We chose Freedom Rangers. It takes about 12 to 16 weeks to raise them out. These are about 18 weeks old. They're a little past due. We like the slower growers. We free range them. It takes a little longer to get them the weight that we like to butcher. We like to butcher 6 to 8 pounds. We raise them in our homemade chicken tractor out of a trampoline until they're about 6 weeks old. Then we start opening it up during the day. We let them out. They free range during the day, and then they go in the tractor at night for protection from predators. We have raccoons, coyotes, we have red-tailed hawks, just the same stuff everybody else has. But we've raised these about 4 years now, time that your Cornish rocks does. But again, we free range, so they eat a lot of bugs, grass. We feed them twice a day. We feed them morning and evening, supplement them. We process the chickens here on the farm ourselves. People come to the farm and buy them, and then we go to a farmer's market in Lewis County and sell our chicken there. These chicks they're about 3 weeks old. We keep them in here, and I call it a brooder box. And as you can see, a lot of things, we refurbished a lot of things on this farm. This wafer board came from an old shipping pallet. We took them apart. The only real money I have in this is the screws and the bars to hold the bars I don't even have. This was a gazebo that somebody threw out. This one here has the pipe in it, conduit. But we put them in here till they start. You can see they're starting to get their feathers. When they get feathers and they can keep warm, they need to be kept at around 90 degrees when they're first chicks. As they get older, the temperature drops, but you want to have them feathers before you take them outside because it's 50 degrees. They can't keep warm. The last batch I had, I took the lights and put them in a chicken tractor, put them close to the electric where I could put them in, and I put them out a little early, but I thought I'd just wait for these and put these out. When they get feathers, they'll go outside. About 2 weeks, they should be good enough to put out, and then they'll be left in their pen for about 2 days, and after 2 days, we'll open up the door to the chicken tractor, and we'll let them free range throughout the yard. And then once we do that, then they'll go in at night. You don't have any troubles getting them to go in. And they'll be able to eat bugs and all that good stuff. Right now, the grasshoppers are prevalent on the farm, and it's kind of fun to sit and watch the chickens chase all the grasshoppers. We've never had trouble with our chickens flying over a fence. We have a 5-foot fence around our yard, so we We don't clip any wings. They seem to stay in. They'll go around the fence sometimes, but we get them right back in. But I've never had any fly over. I've heard other people tell me that they do fly, but these Freedom Rangers seem to me that they don't fly much. They get up on stuff, but our chickens stay pretty tame. We can, if you put feed down, you can catch about any of the chickens. They're not. These guys are a little timid right now because they stay in here, and the only time they get really human contact's when we feed and water them. These chicks, you have to water them 2 to 3 times a day. When you raise meat birds, they're totally different from a laying hen. Meat birds require lots of water, and they'll eat constantly if you let them. They eat, and then they lay down, and they digest, and they eat again. But the water is key. You got to make sure they have plenty of water and access to water. This is our pasture pig program. These guys here are 9 weeks old. Right now we have them in what we call a training pen. We train them on electric, and after we get them trained, we'll move them out in 5 to 7 acre plots with 2 strands of electric, and they'll be able to forage grass. They'll eat nuts. They'll eat hickory nuts. They'll eat acorns, walnuts. These guys are a little small for the harder nuts, but within a month or so, they'll be foraging for everything. They forage for grubs. I'm assuming they eat snakes and anything they can find in the woods. And plus, we supplement feed. We supplement them with the grain. And plus, they live off the forage that we provide them. We try to, when they're smaller, you leave them on a plot for about a month and a half. And then once they get bigger and we kind of watch the land as they start rooting the land. We rotate them so they don't damage too much of the land. So we've got four plots we put them on, and we rotate them on. And we have more acreage. We haven't fenced off for it. We're going to try to put these guys this spring on a new plot that we've never had pigs on before, and let them forage on it. So they'll get maybe some different plants, and they'll go in and any of the underbrush that's there, they'll clear it out and kind of regenerate the land so that new growth can go. But thank you all for coming. Thank you for joining us. I hope you learned something. I hope maybe entice somebody to become a small farmer. Like I always say, I'm a hobby farmer, but we started this probably 10 years ago to raise meat for ourselves, for our own use, and next thing I know, I'm providing meat for the community. God has a plan for us, I guess, and that's where I ended up. So, but again, I thank you for coming out and being with us today. And if you need anything, we're on Facebook, Nolan Farms. Just friend us. If you're local or far away, we try to help everybody out.